Hey guys, welcome to our podcast where it has to be said. My name is Elvis.
And I'm Denise.
Babe, don't try to have my same energy. Let's relax. Today we're going old school, guys. We're going to change it up a little
Wait,
bit.
what happened? You didn't even say, babe, let's talk.
I said that.
You did?
Jesus, man. Sorry, we're recording a little bit late tonight.
Yo,
But we're
I'm a
excited as
mess.
usual. So we're changing things up a little bit because,
We're back, guys.
we didn't go
We
anywhere.
skipped a week.
Oh, we did?
Yes.
Well, I was busy. You should have recorded while I was in Puerto Rico. I had my reasoning while I
I
wasn't
don't even
recording.
think it should be called It Has to Be Said podcast. It should be We're Busy podcast.
I know, right? We're always, but that's a good thing.
And
We
the
have stuff to
surprise
do.
and the surprise is, let's see if this week we're gonna get an episode.
Yeah. Well, things are gonna change. I think with the daycare and stuff like that, and my new this is sophisticated notepad. Is it dirty? I don't even know if it's
I
dirty.
told Elvis, I'm like, oh, we're going old school today with a notebook.
No, you said that I don't look professional enough. That you needed me to have notes and stuff like that. So
I did not
um,
say that.
now I look old school. So, babe, you wanna give
I
me a
did not say
computer or
that.
something? What you guys think? Comment below if she should buy me a computer or iPad because I think this is like old school. I
He
think we need
has a
something better.
tablet.
Excuse me, but that tablet's for other stuff. I want to have one specifically for it has to be said podcast.
Goodbye.
It's gonna have a
Anyways.
sticker and everything.
Anyways,
So what we're talking about tonight, babe?
we're gonna talk about intimate conversations.
Intimate conversation.
Intimate conversations.
Stop trying to be like me.
I'm following your energy.
Oh, okay.
Whatever.
I like that.
So I've had this book forever. It's called His Needs, Her Needs: Building an Affair-Proof Marriage by Willard F. Harley Jr. I think we made mention of this book when we spoke about the episode of Love Tank, which is really Love Bank because I had a refresher of the book today. But we do have episode
Go look at that episode. If you backed up the
weeks back,
episode.
but talking about your love tank and how relationships fill each other, depending on what's received and what's given and withdrawn from the relationship. So anyway, so one of the chapters he talks about is one of the needs of women needing intimate conversation, but I think men also can benefit from having intimate
Sure.
conversations. I don't know if that's like something, I don't want to say something you guys need, but I think it's good.
I think it's good. I just don't think we ever, or I have never thought about it being an intimate conversation. I just feel like it's a conversation. So
Yeah, but like for us, it's more like, and even the book it talks about, it's like it's not just a regular like, oh hey, how's it going? How you doing? It's not small talk. It's more of like, you're talking about life. Like especially when you first start in a relationship. Remember when we were dating and that one time we broke night basically just talking, like that type of deep convo.
we're
And
still dating and we still have long nights
I
talking.
know, but I'm saying like in reference to that is like all those like deep convos like that, like that's
Usually you want to go to sleep, and I'm like, babe, but let's just talk. Let's just break night. Forget about it. Right? Am I saying the truth?
you
Please,
talking a little bit of cap.
No. I don't.
You
tell
know what
you.
I realized? Sidebar.
Okay, no. Let's
About-
keep topic. Excuse me.
about-
Let's follow the line.
About Elvis on the podcast is that he be trying to like comfort me on the podcast.
Excuse me.
And in the moment, I like block out the like my response. And when I'm re-listening to the podcast, I'm like, yo, he's a liar. Like I don't do that, or that doesn't happen.
Okay, so let's clarify.
So-
So we don't do this. You don't try to go to sleep. I'm like, babe, let's talk tonight.
Because who wants to start having a conversation at 11 o'clock at night when you gotta be up at 7 or 6:30?
So it is true. That's
Not
all
all
I
the
want to
time.
know. What?
Once in a while.
But we do it. Okay. So
Once in a while.
There you go. She admitted that it's not a lie. It's the truth. It's the reality.
So the book talks about 4 enemies to intimate conversation, meaning like 4 things that sometimes couples do in their relationship that prevent you from reaching intimate conversation.
Yeah.
And it talks about 4 friends. So I picked one enemy that I do feel like I operate in a little bit sometimes.
Well, I think we could go over all 4 of them.
And then go.
But just pinpoint if you have comments or something to say. And I'm pretty sure as we talk about the points, we're probably going to I don't know. In the
Yeah.
moment, we're probably gonna come with things that come to our mind at that particular moment. But I do agree with you. I didn't write in all of them a lot of notes, but I did write some notes and certain ones. I'm like, ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So one enemy number one based, and this again based on his book and his work in working with people, is enemy number one is making demands. That is not me.
absolutely not, babe. You never make demands. But you can confess yourself here. This is a perfect time.
There's nothing to confess because I felt like this didn't apply to me.
Okay, so making demands. Do you have anything to say about making demands?
No.
Okay.
No, I think it's self-explanatory. I think that if you're trying to force someone in a demanding way to meet something that you necessarily want, you're not going to get the outcome you may want, which is like, and we spoke about it before, like if you have um a partner that's maybe not helping around in the house, right? So me forcefully saying things to try to get you to do it is not going to encourage you to want to do it
Yep.
more.
Okay. You nailed the end of dot. That's exactly what I wrote. Not obligating your partner or not making him or her do things. So we're recording, baby. No, you gotta go with sister. You gotta go with sister, baby. Sorry guys, we're recording. This is life.
Yeah.
So the next step is gonna be she's gonna start crying because the oldest is gonna make her cry. Okay. So first one, making demands. Yes, I didn't write much. I just wrote exactly what you
You
mentioned.
don't
So
have to say what you like that you wrote it. Just say it.
oh, you didn't give me instructions, babe, before like doing all of this. It's sophisticated for me. So,
Uh-huh.
but go ahead, babe. So the next one, being disrespectful. I'm pretty sure you didn't write nothing there because you're an angel.
I'm not disrespectful.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't say that I'm disrespectful.
Okay.
Disrespectful is like if I'm calling you out of your name, calling you like demeaning and maybe vulgar language, which we don't use vulgar language, but demeaning words. Um, I guess a eye roll would be this. I don't know. I think disrespect. It depends on what you view as disrespectful because I can do something and I don't see it intentionally as disrespect. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, because you gonna say roll your eyes because he mentioned about rolling of eyes.
Yeah, but I'm saying like
But I think in general, your face expression could say a lot.
yeah.
Right? So even if, and he also pinpoints that as far as disrespectful, if your partner feels that it's disrespectful, it is.
Yeah, that I
So,
highlighted. I liked it
so
that.
you just you contradicted yourself just right now because you said,
How?
well, it could be different. Well, for me, is this. But if for your partner, it is disrespectful, then it is disrespectful. You probably don't see rolling your eyes as a bad thing, but for your partner, it's probably disrespectful.
That's what I just said though. I said it depends on what you find disrespectful.
Exactly. So it's important for you to find out what's disrespectful for your partner. Because you're saying for you it's not, right?
Correct.
Okay. But what if for me it is?
Then I won't.
So control your
I
eyes,
won't
babe.
do it.
Control your eyes.
Then I won't do it.
Control your eyes.
Then I won't do it. I guess. But I think, in this respect too, it's kind of like just even violating certain boundaries, or even he said like a comment of like you're saying comments like oh, you're being too sensitive, right? It's like a form of dismissiveness
Absolutely, yeah.
to your partner. So it's not necessarily that you're calling them nasty names, which that's for me that's like a blatant form of disrespect, but also kind of like just minimizing how your partner's feeling, right? So if you're constantly doing that, I why would I want to have an intimate conversation? Why would I want our conversation to go any further if that's how what I'm gonna get from you? So
Yeah.
in that sense, but I didn't think that I don't think I have that issue with you. Like as far as like I don't I think we've passed the
Well,
disrespectful
I mean, we were a
stage.
lot younger. We was. We
Yeah,
would
there
say
was
each
one
other a
time you
whole bunch
called
of
me the
stuff.
B. I've never called you crazy words though, because I've never been like de hablar así sucio. I've never been like that. But you called me the B word once, I think, in Puerto Rico. I was so tight.
14 years only once. I think that's good.
So tight.
I
Because
think
I
that's
just
good.
don't like, don't call me out of my name.
At this point in time, I don't think it's gonna come out. But again, like it's because listen, when you have issues with your partner, right? Because you are gonna have days where things are low, things are stressful and stuff like that.
My eyes
You
itching.
could give your message around, right? Whatever message you may have to your partner without being disrespectful,
Yeah.
right? And again, we go back to the beginning. I think for me, that was the most important part was you gotta also evaluate what's disrespectful for your partner, right? Because for you, probably the how I looking or slamming the door for you is nothing, but for me, it is.
Oh, we don't like the door slamming either.
Exactly.
I
That's why
have
I
done it
mentioned
though.
it. So, what do you accomplish slamming the door?
Nothing. Just
But
letting.
yet, it's
I let you
still
know that I'm upset.
yeah. But yet, no. But check this out. Yet the other day, weren't you mentioning to me that Elenice was upset, our oldest, right? And what does she do?
Oh yeah, she slammed the car door.
Why? Because that's what she sees. When it
What?
happens. Yeah, absolutely.
No.
Yes.
Cause we barely slam doors. Like
We
you
don't slam doors here and there.
here and there, but you making it sound like it's something like ongoing
I'm
that
not saying
she
we do it every day. You haven't done it in a very long
not
time.
everything that tampoco así. Not everything that we do tampoco there she's
So
learning
she
from
does
us.
so where she got that from?
For herself, out of anger. She was angry. She didn't like what I asked her to do.
I never throw the door.
Cap.
No, I never throw the door.
You're-
I never throw the door. So, but it's okay. I was just giving an example.
Never say never.
One of the things that what that it talks about is we could agree to disagree.
So this is where we're gonna.
This is one of those
Yo.
without being disrespectful,
Oh.
right? Can we agree to that?
Mm-hmm.
Please. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Okay, great. So the next one. I didn't really write nothing in this being disrespectful.
Good.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think we really disrespect each other. I mean, a veces no pasamos like, I think we've learned to learn when to like shut up. Like, all right,
Yeah.
this conversation's going to get a
Some
little
of
too
us
far. so that we
Take advantage of cameras on.
Tú te aprovechas.
I don't get it. You want me to record. You
No,
want me to
because
record. I don't get. You want me to talk.
You be coming
Stop.
for me on these
No,
episodes,
no, no.
and sometimes you be saying stuff that is not true.
No, the name of the podcast, we already spoke about this. The name of the podcast is It Has to Be Said. So let's just say it right here.
And everything, the Bible says everything that is truthful. So you got to speak facts. So
I am. But let's not be disrespectful.
proceed.
Go ahead. So, oh, this is a perfect one. We're going to a third one. So we're going
I got a lot of notes for that one.
So you know what? I'm gonna let you start. So the third one is expressing anger. I can't even say
Let
it.
me bring my whole page of notes.
Oh wow,
Okay.
It looks like a Bible almost.
All right. So he says that I wrote notes because I feel like this is like where I need the most work on.
Mhm.
Only because Elenice tells me that
Mhm.
I get angry a lot.
I thought she doesn't see anything or she doesn't do anything, right? Remember the door slamming? Okay, guys.
No. She sees me get angry in the sense where I yell,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I was like, I don't know if this falls under disrespect, but I think it's more under anger because the yelling is a form of reaction to a feeling of anger.
I would say
right?
both of them are wrong, but go ahead.
Shut up. So I can tend to have a short fuse.
Mm.
Believe it or not. Okay, I'm going to be specific. I have a short fuse at home because apparently other people hear stuff and they're like, oh, what? You don't have attitude or...
Oof, they haven't met Denise
Right?
that I know.
So while it might come from a feeling of being like overwhelmed,
So that's the moment that I wrote this.
no.
I said, do not, listen to me, gentlemen, woman, men, anybody that's listening to a podcast, when you are angry, when you're mad, when you're upset, do not have a conversation. It is
True.
not true. Oh, but I want to talk. But let me finish. But let me say, I'm upset. Let me cool down. You have to, and I said this multiple times, you have to wait until things cool down because you are going to be the worst of yourself.
But
ever.
I feel like I don't even harass you to force you to talk anymore because I feel like I get more upset now. Like I'm the one that now doesn't really want to talk.
No, I think we've been doing it very, very good. I think that's what it is too. We haven't really argued.
No, but I'm saying the times we have, I don't want to talk. I'm like, all right, job, because like I'm already annoyed or bothered
Of
about
your
it.
own self. No, I want to know.
No,
I want to know.
about
That's
you.
what you
Why would
said.
I be annoyed by myself? The only time I'm annoyed with myself is when I'm like, at that time of the month comes that I get a little
So
extra.
it does happen.
But anyways, so
Mhm.
sometimes it comes out of being overwhelmed or not feeling like my needs are not being met as far as like whatever it is, whether there's a task at home, whatever, right? But being angry, like yelling, is not an effective way to communicate. I'm not getting nowhere in yelling, right? Because if I yell, whether it's to Elvis, whether it's to Denise, what's it gonna do is gonna pull them away from wanting to engage with me,
Mhm.
right? It's gonna be like, ah, I'm not gonna deal with you, or let me just leave you alone because I don't know how you're gonna respond, or how Elvis jokes sometimes, like he doesn't know what Denise he's gonna get because he doesn't know what mood I'm gonna be in, depending the thing, right? The book implies that the anger is purposeful to cause harm, but I feel like in the way that I do it is not that I mean like I want to hurt you. Like
Yeah.
that's not my intention. It's just I'm so angry. So sometimes when I'm angry, like my tone and my demeanor can be like off-putting
Mhm.
and upsetting, right? And then I was reading scientifically
There we go.
that anger can lead to a release of like an increase of a stress hormones, right? And such as cortisol. So if that hormones increase in that part of the brain, I'm not going to go through the whole science of it, it can prevent you from using your best judgment, right?
Mm.
So when you're angry, it prevents you if from when you're releasing that cortisol in your brain, it's preventing you from making good decisions,
Mhm.
right? Which is why it's not good to make decisions out of anger, right? Don't make a permanent decision over temporary feelings, right?
Yeah.
Because anger is a temporary moment that you're feeling as is activated with whatever circumstance, right? And then not only that, it also suppresses activities in the hippocampus, which is another part of your brain, that prevents you from forming new memories, which
Mm.
is why sometimes when you're arguing, that's why when you're arguing, sometimes you can't even remember your points.
Mhm.
You ever after an argument, maybe a few hours later or moments after, you think about all the things you wanted to say. So that's what anger does. Anger blocks you from those memories forming for you
Mhm.
able to have those conversations. So you're not having an effective conversation when you're angry,
Yeah.
right? Then on top of that, the Bible says that the mouth speaks what the heart is full of, right? So I feel like when you're angry, it kind of shows what's going on a little bit in your heart,
Mhm.
right? So maybe it's not necessarily the moment, but obviously in my heart I'm carrying certain things that's gonna come out. And when you're angry and you respond in anger, like a ugly side comes out of you,
Mhm.
right? That's why when couples who are in the middle of a divorce or are considering separating, sometimes the ugliness come out because they're so angry that they're operating in anger, making poor judgment, poor decisions. They're not able to fully process what they're saying and doing, and then on top of that, they're just spilling out whatever they've had built out in their heart.
Yeah.
Um, so anger is, I think, a very important enemy to having real conversations with your
Mhm.
partner.
And you should also express that to your partner too. Like, listen, right now is the moment. Like, it's
Mm-hmm.
not the moment. I'm very upset. I'm very angry, and I don't want to, let go all of that on you. And I used to do that a lot in the past when I was upset. And you're like, no la coja conmigo, right? Because you were the only person there. So I'm like, let me take advantage. I'm so
Yeah.
upset. I can't tell anybody anything, but I could tell this person.
Yeah. And it also it can decrease the happy hormone, serotonin, and then on top of that, you're more prone to feeling anger and pain easier
Mm-hmm.
the more angry you get, right? So it's almost like you got to make a little conscious decision of like, am I gonna let this moment, this feeling take over me?
Mm-hmm.
And this applies, the anger part was like key to me. Like that was the biggest enemy for me because that applies in every
Mm-hmm.
relationship, right? And as you get older, we should be able as adults to be able to regulate our emotions. We should be able
Absolutely.
to tap into our emotions and manage our emotions. And when you have often outbursts of anger, it's showing that you have no self control in that. And it's really revealing like you got to work in that because that's ugly to
Yeah.
get like that all the time, right? And then when you're angry, you can be disrespectful, and which also ties into the other form of intimate conversation
Yeah. And,
enemy.
and I think there's moments in our life that have you ever felt like everything is just going against you, right?
Yes.
And I feel like there's a lot of marriages or a lot of relationships that, you know, you lose your job, your apartment, your house is in foreclosure, you don't know what to do with your marriage, you can't find God in the midst of your storm, just everything going against you. And in those times, you're just full of anger,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you're like, why is this happening to me? Why me? Why everything is just against me? Like, it's so overwhelming, and that overwhelmingness gets you into anger. And it's like at those times, don't do anything, right? I feel like a lot of times we're so many things coming that you feel like you have to respond,
Mm-hmm.
right? You're in the midst of the storm, and you need to decide what to do. And I feel like a lot of times we don't even realize, like, listen, this storm is causing me to be angry, and I don't even realize it. Yes, I know that it's getting me frustrated. I'm getting anxiety. I'm getting
Mm-hmm.
depressed. Everything is just hitting me at once. Don't do anything.
Yep.
Just wait in God
Yeah.
until things. There's always gonna be a light at the end of the tunnel. And I feel like even when I left to Puerto Rico recently on vacation, right? Everything was going, against me, as far as clockwise. I had to do this, I had to do that. You got stuck in the street, the car got clogged up.
Oh yeah.
Everything was kind of going.
Clogged up.
The engine broke,
Oh.
babe. The engine. You know what happened?
Like clogged up.
You got
Yeah.
stranded. So and plus I had to finish work. I was in submission time. I was working. Everything was just piling up, and I was angry. I was upset, but at the same time, is I'm not gonna. Oh, and then I got sick too. I wasn't gonna do anything. I just want, like, man, like, you take control, God, right? I'm not gonna do anything. And then after that, everything just piled up good. We fixed the engine, we got the car, we got who took me. I fixed my job, I left everything up to date, and
Mhm.
I had a successful trip over there in Puerto Rico. So it's like,
Yeah, but if you would have dwelled on the anger and the emotions of everything's going wrong, probably would have not found solutions, concrete solutions to the issues we
absolutely,
were facing.
absolutely. And in that midst of all of that was happening, I could have put all that anger towards you and the girls, but I didn't.
Which Ellie was worried because the girls were in the car with me when the car just stopped. And she's like, "Oh, great." She's like, "Thank God I have school tomorrow because no one's gonna take out their anger on me, right?" Because she knows, like, she thought we were gonna be like frustrated. I said, "No, we're gonna be like, of course we're not happy that my car is not functioning, but it's not a matter of getting angry. It's just trying to find a way to solve it because
Resolve it. Yep.
we don't want to have to come out of a new expense." Like I was like, I just told her, I said the stress would be more of like, oh my God, we can't afford like to have buy a new car with the way the market is now. So I told her that, and she was, oh, okay. And then she saw that we were home and we weren't
Yeah. So
as angry.
this anger situation, and the reason why I mentioned that was because it applies, like you said earlier, it applies to all of our relationships. Even at work, have you ever had a coworker that just flips in the middle of all the pressure of work? They're understaffed. The management is asking you for a whole bunch of stuff, and all of a sudden they flip, and you're like, I never met this side of you, right? Or even your kids. I think this one is very important. I mean, your job is important, but your kids, you're probably all stressed out. Everything is going against you, and your kids is just bothering you because they want to spend time with you.
But
Alina
they're
could
not
be
bothering you, but they're,
that,
yeah.
no, in a way of Alina being annoying. Like,
Mm-hmm.
could you read me a book? Could you read me a book? Could I play with you? Could we watch this? And in your head, you're like, I gotta figure this out. I gotta figure that out. I gotta figure this out. And you could pour all that angriness towards your kid
Mm-hmm.
and just mark them. So a lot of times I stay numb. Like, I don't want, no, I don't want to do nothing because I know I'm gonna
Yeah.
go You know what you want to do? Chancleta and tirársela. That's what you want to know. You want to do that,
Yeah, like to just
but
stop
just
it from just continuing. Yeah.
yeah, because it's a little bit overwhelming. So yeah, that's a key point. I mean, the
Yeah.
expressing anger is definitely a key point.
And then the fourth one was dwelling on mistakes, past or present.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that I think that's self-explanatory, and we've mentioned it before. It's kind of like the constant bringing up of mistakes, pointing out the flaws, is not gonna bring a solution, right? It's gonna just cause your partner to withdraw. So it's like, why do I want to have deep talks? Why do I want to be intimate conversations? Why do I even want to talk to you if all you're gonna do is keep bringing up the stuff I've done, or the mistakes that I'm doing now that is not going to be conducive to improving our relationship.
Yeah, listen, and we all make mistakes. We all make
Mm-hmm.
mistakes, and listen, perfect example is cheating. Your spouse cheated on you and you forgave them. Every time you guys have a conversation, don't bring it up. There's
Yeah.
no you're not going to bring anything productive out of it. And now if you're going to say a testimony where your marriage, started at this and it was horrible, we were at the point of divorce, and then you're going to speak about how gracious enough God was to be able to reunite your marriage, become the man of God, become the woman of God that you were created for, then that's completely different. But if we're having a conversation, you're having a conversation with your spouse and you're like, hey, this is why I can never take you out to the pool because every time we go to a pool, you're hitting on the first girl with a bikini.
Or
And that
or
doesn't
or you're looking at every
every girl or just bring it the past. You
yeah.
gotta that's not something that it's healthy, and you have to understand that everybody, we all make mistakes
Mm-hmm.
and we all make choices in our life that we're not happy of or proud of. So if you chose to, it's crazy because when you forgive somebody so good, and I remember a men's retreat that I was able to talk about that, you could be around this person and you don't want to talk about the past. You're so grateful that we were able to overcome the bad stuff and,
Yeah.
the everything that you guys went through.
And your heart knows
100%.
when something is no longer there, right?
Yep.
Cuz
You could
but
talk about it.
you have to be willing to be self-aware of that, right? Cuz I can point it out and be like, "Yo, you still como que have that." And you can be like, "No," but you have to be able to be self-aware and be mindful that to know if that enemy's operating is are you dwelling, right? It's one thing to mention it, right? Okay, this happened. You made this mistake, yes. But if every time that we're talking, everything that we are involved in, you're always going to be bringing it up, then you haven't really got over it.
Yeah, and again, this is an intimate conversation. You don't want to go to somebody and be, listen, you got to talk to me right now, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And disrespect them. And at the same time, because you did this in the past. So let's talk right now.
Mm-hmm.
You're already showing being demanding, since we said in the very beginning. Being disrespectful, basically,
Mm-hmm.
is what I say, or the highway, and bring her their past. Do you think she's going to want to talk to you?
Nope.
Absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like when you take advantage of these moments of having this intimate moment of being able to speak about the good things or about what's going on in life, take advantage and be intentional about them. Would you even talk to yourself?
Yep. That's true. So we spoke about four enemies, right? And then he also speaks about four friends, right? So friend number one to intimate, like what's gonna encourage good talks. He said conversing to inform, investigate, and understand, right? So it's kind of like talking about having a supportive relationship, right? Often
Hmm.
sometimes as couples, as years pass, as time pass, and as things remain unresolved, we more operate in a defensive relationship.
Hmm.
And he's saying like you have to be able to be willing to retain information
Hmm.
from your partner. Like what is it that's bothering your partner? What is it that your partner's feeling, and kind of be invested in your partner to cultivate a healthy relationship.
Yeah, I put learn every single day with your partner, because what bothers her today does not bother her tomorrow. And what bothers her tomorrow didn't bother her in the past.
Yeah.
So I feel like the more you try to investigate, like he said there, the more you're gonna learn that things change.
Yeah. I like that it says to understand their feelings, their interests and activities. So it's not only how they're feeling, but just everything about your partner, right?
Hmm.
Like what makes you happy, what makes you sad. You know, and it says under learn each other's hot and cold buttons, right?
That's what I wrote.
So
Like
it's
those
kind of
hot buttons.
like, and I think that's where sometimes my anger operates because it's like, my buttons are, you already know
Sometimes you gotta press that red
that
button.
this is
Sometimes
gonna
you just
bother. So it's like instead of, not pressing it, you know how it be saying the sign, do not touch red button. I feel like sometimes he goes,
it's fun sometimes. It's
so
fun.
that part I'm like, come on, you know this about me. You know I don't like this. Or you know that this bothers me, or that this gets me a little, started and triggered. Like, come on, like I was gonna say better, but that's part of the demanding part. But it's just like, come on, like, how long we been together? Why would you do this, right? Or why would you not do this if you know it's gonna get me a little?
I don't know what she's talking about, but yeah, I press those
You
buttons.
know,
I do.
you see,
I do. I do.
Tú sabes que alguna
I gotta be
cosa.
honest because everything I say here is honest, right? We said that before, so.
Ay, Dios mío. So friend number 2 is developing interest in each other's favorite topic of conversation. So I put that's something that I feel like I need to work on a little
Oh,
bit
we
more.
finished in one. You didn't even ask me what I think
Oh,
about
I'm
number
sorry.
one.
You said something. You want
No,
to add
okay.
more?
Read the first one. No, I was talking. What I wrote here was, don't keep any secrets from your partner. Let them be able to be inside your life. Meaning, you could have your social media accounts, bank accounts, anything for them to have access of it too. Meaning, like, there
Yeah.
shouldn't be no hidden things, right? When we have a conversation,
My
perfect
bad.
example. No, perfect example is the things I do like and the things I don't like, right? If we're talking about car detailing, that I'm gonna talk about a whole bunch of stuff, workouts, stuff like that. Now, I can't talk to you about none of that stuff to you about if you like it. So if I'm talking about intimate conversation with you, I'm gonna talk about topics that you're gonna like.
Oh, so you just shifted to 2 now.
Yes.
Oh, okay. But wait, I'm gonna go back to what you said.
Ah, okay.
Well,
go
we
ahead.
have to. That's a whole other episode about the whole social media passwords, whatever. Well, I'll leave that as a pinned conversation.
Should we talk about that? Comment below. Tell us. Should we talk about
I'm
social
sure,
media?
I'm sure some people might be like, you don't need to
Sharing
know my password.
passwords, bank account sharing. What else? The phone itself.
Yeah.
It's crazy the videos that they be putting of people of sharing the phone to their partner, and they're like, no, I don't want them to see.
Yeah. So,
Like,
but that's a whole nother topic. But back to friend number 2, developing interest. Well, I get that you said that that those are things that I'm not interested in.
mhm.
But as your partner, it's basically saying I should develop some interest.
Absolutely.
So, for example,
You watch me clean the car.
yeah, he'll be like, "Can you sit right there and watch me clean the car?"
You take a picture of it.
Or that's what I'm saying. Like before, when you were like into like taking pictures of it, I would just sit in the car
And
while
do
he took
nothing.
the pictures. But I was there. Like it's not something I necessarily wanted to do. I could have just stood home, but just to be there, like, or I'll take pictures of him taking pictures of his car because he looked crazy sometimes. But so having some interest.
I watched the movies in the show Degrassi.
I haven't seen Degrassi in
we
forever.
used to see it, but we see movies.
Well, you actually see things I like less. It's like
what? What are you talking about? I be watching romantic movies that you want to see. That I don't want no chick flicks.
That's true. That's true. Or
So-
like me, I have to sometimes force myself to watch an action movie. First of all, me watching any movie
I think your energy went high right now. This
I
is a
said-
good topic.
I said, first of all, me watching any movie is showing interest because
You never want to watch a movie.
I never want to watch.
I want to watch them all.
Never want. I don't really. I'd be like,
Look,
no.
yesterday was a perfect example, right? I got here 2 days ago, and yesterday, me, her, and Elenice was able to watch a movie all three together. No phones.
Yeah.
Let's just focus
And
on the movie. What? Miraculously was. Eso no es español.
Miraculously, I was like, oh, I got a movie to watch. So
Yeah, it was a good movie.
yeah, but yeah, so doing things and having conversations, talking about things that you may not necessarily like, but your partner enjoys. But then also your partner should also kind of cultivate that for you too.
We're not telling you that if your partner plays basketball, play basketball with them. But at least be in the bench.
Oh,
Give
talk
him a
about
bottle of
basketball.
water.
Tell me about basketball. Like, what do you like
Yup.
about it? Or, what's your favorite? Like, stuff like, what's your favorite player? Or why do you like this person so much? And maybe they, geek out about it. Just having a moment. I like when people, if you really pay attention to people, when they talk about something they enjoy, their eyes like lit up, and you can just tell when someone's really happy about what they're talking about, and you can tell how happy it makes them feel to know someone's interested in that conversation. And I think in relationships it's important to have that there's some interest, and it shows like, I care about you and how you feel and what you like to do. So friend number 3, balancing the conversation. That is something Elvis and I need to work on because we continually talk over each other in this podcast.
Who has been talking the most so far in this podcast? I want you to comment below. Of my understanding, if my timing is correct, Denise has been talking like nonstop. So I'm gonna have to do a whole episode myself of a word of God or something like that to be able to balance out everything you talk about in the podcast. No,
Stop
but at the
it.
beginning we were worse because you remember like you used to talk and then you're like, you don't want to say nothing. Well, you already said it all. At the very beginning it was
We're
tough.
gonna have to get the baton to pass. Like, okay, I have the speaking stick.
This is what we're gonna do, and we can't do it now, but I encourage you to do this, right? Because I like the fact that he said that in a weekly basis, at least have 10 hours of these intimate conversations,
He
right?
said 10 hours. No, he did
10
not.
hours in the week. Yes. Read the book. You want to read it? I'm wrong again.
Go ahead, but
Okay,
10
okay, okay.
hours.
10 hours in
I
the
didn't see
week.
that.
So, babe, that's like an hour. We do a lot more than that. What are you talking about? That's like an hour a day, a little bit over an hour a day. We don't do more than an hour a day.
No, we do.
We do, exactly.
We do. Sometimes I'd be like, all right, can I talk to you later so we have something to talk about at
You know
home?
what the crazy part is? There's people out there that are in relationships now that they don't even spend 10 hours a week.
Wow.
That's what I was
Yeah.
going towards. Like, that may not be an issue for us, but if you're with a partner and you can't even have at a minimal 10 hours a week, look at your screen time on your phone.
Yeah.
To see how many hours you spend on a daily basis. I look at Lisa's all the time, always bothering her. You spent 5 hours, 7 hours in the phone. You were 10 hours sleeping, 7 hours in school.
Yeah.
We can't have half an hour talking with each other, right?
Yeah.
So it's like we don't have that issue, but there is people that have this issue, and you should just really like write down in a notebook. Listen, this day we did 1 hour of talking. This day we did, to kind of, build that type of thing,
Yeah.
because, you and I already have it naturally. We're like, something happened at work. Example, the promotion and all of that. You're like, oh, they call me and this is what's going on. And you want to tell me right away. Now, I told you today, oh, this is what they told me. And I think this is what's
Yeah.
going to happen. And I was so excited. You were the first person I wanted to talk to about saying those good news.
Oh, so sweet.
Stop acting for the camera, babe. But go ahead.
But also, sometimes there's other factors, work schedules and whatever. And even in the book, he talks about, partners that may have a job that makes them travel and go out of town. Like that is important to kind of find a way to add time to feel close to your partner.
And don't interrupt your partner.
Well, we do that all the time on this episode.
I know, but we got to work on the same thing we're doing.
Yeah,
If we're having a conversation, if you're so inspired, your eyes are glowing, you're telling me this whole crazy story of what's going on in your life. I'm like, yo, but did you see the neighbors? Right? If I just cut you off like that, you're going to be so upset. And then you're going to go to 4 enemies. You're going to start looking at me bad like that. You're going to start demanding, shut up, I need to talk. Nah, I'm being drastic. But what I'm saying is, don't. Just let the talk. You're going to have time to talk. There's no rush.
Yeah. Well, that's friend number 4 is giving each other undivided attention.
Absolutely.
Right. One thing that be triggering me is when I'm out with Elvis and we're like in a restaurant or something and he's on his phone while I'm talking to him.
Babe, that's a second. Like if I get a text message and I answer
it don't matter. If I'm talking to you.
This happens all the time?
But I'm saying like it happens often.
Oh, because I know that every night you're on your phone. Like, babe, why
okay,
you
but
leave
we're
your
not having
phone?
a conversation. Let's not digress. Let's not whatever. I said the wrong word. Let's focus on what I'm talking about.
Digress? What is that?
Me fui. Cállate.
I think he's late.
So, like, if I'm talking to you, why would you need? I'm with
That's
you.
true.
The most important person is right there,
Absolutely,
right?
yes.
So, like, undivided attention is like I'm listening, I'm paying attention, right? Because putting your phone, even if you're putting it, and I was reading, I think
Face
a TED
down.
Talk.
Uh-huh.
Even when putting it face down, you're still kind of like implying like, oh, this is still important for me, so I need to keep it accessible. Versus when
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I saw some conversation about it on YouTube. And when you put it away, it's giving a message like, this is you have my undivided attention. And that's with friendships too, right? A lot of times with friends, when you're talking about quality time, which is another episode we have.
Gotta go watch it, okay? It's a good one.
When you're having quality time, it requires your undivided attention. right? Is with kids, the same thing with kids, teens, anybody, any relationship you have. So giving that person a
When I go out with
undivided attention and focus is key.
when I go out with Ellie, my oldest, I mean, we never use our phone. We're like, let's talk. So, but yeah, I guess I do have to work on that, babe. You forgive me?
I forgive you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So
Love you.
those were the 4 enemies and the 4 friends. I think the point of today is that communication is key. Yo, we just popping out all the names of other episodes.
You
But
guys gotta watch them. How many episodes we have
I
now?
don't know.
We have a lot of episodes right now.
Yeah, we do. But communication is important, and as couples, we need to have intimate conversations to cultivate a healthy relationship. It's essential. So become more self-aware of the behaviors you're doing that may not cultivate or promote a healthy relationship. And you can only, it's easy and it's not, and focus on your behavior, right? Because I can't control what Elvis does, but I can control how I respond and what I do.
Absolutely.
So if we're both being self-aware, we're both being willing to put in work, then we'll be able to continue to cultivate that intimate relationship and be closer despite, whatever disagreements may arise, because we're putting into practice and working on ourselves.
It was a good talk today, babe.
It was.
It had to be said.
And it was said.
Take care, guys.
Bye.